Welcome. Before you read this story, let me ask you something important. Have you ever felt like your day just disappeared, even though you were busy all the time? Have you ever promised yourself that tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow comes and nothing changes? If yes, then this story is for you. It will not tell you about a person. It will tell you about something much bigger, something that controls your life more than you realize. Time. There is a strange place that exists everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It is not on any map, and no one can visit it physically. Yet every single person lives inside it. This place is called the day. Every morning, a new day opens its doors, full of opportunities, energy, and chances. But by night, it closes forever. What happens inside this day decides everything: success, failure, growth, or regret. The day is divided into many small rooms. Each room represents an hour. Some rooms are bright and full of energy, while others are quiet and slow. When a person wakes up, they enter the first room. From there, they move from one room to another. The problem is not the number of rooms. Everyone gets the same number. The real problem is how these rooms are used. In the first room, there is usually silence and potential. This is the room of beginnings. But many people do not use this room well. Instead of starting something meaningful, they sit in the corner, scrolling endlessly, thinking they will begin later. The room slowly loses its brightness. What was once full of energy becomes dull and empty. As people move to the next rooms, they carry their habits with them. If they started slowly, they continue slowly. If they were distracted, they remain distracted. Soon the day begins to slip away. The rooms are still there, but they feel smaller, shorter, and harder to control. There is a hidden rule inside the day. The earlier rooms are more powerful than the later ones. In the morning rooms, the mind is clear and strong. Decisions are easier and focus is sharper. But in the later rooms, the mind becomes tired. It starts looking for comfort instead of effort. That is why many important tasks are delayed again and again. In one corner of the day, there is a dangerous trap. It is called, "I will do it later." This trap looks harmless. It feels safe. But once someone steps into it, they lose control of time. Minutes turn into hours without any progress. The person feels busy, but nothing important is done. Another trap inside the day is called just one more. It often appears when someone is watching videos, using social media, or doing something easy and enjoyable. One more video, one more scroll, one more minute. But the trap is powerful. It keeps repeating until entire rooms disappear. There's also a quiet enemy inside the day. This enemy does not shout or force. It whispers. It says, "You have time." This sentence feels relaxing, but it is dangerous. Because while the person feels they have time, the rooms are slowly closing behind them. Once a room is closed, it can never be opened again. However, not everything inside the day is a trap. There are also tools, simple but powerful tools that can completely change everything. The first tool is awareness. When someone becomes aware of how they are using their time, the day begins to change. The rooms become clearer and distractions become easier to see. The second tool is decision. Every room asks a silent question. What will you do now? Most people ignore this question. They move without thinking. But those who stop and decide carefully begin to control the day instead of being controlled by it. The third tool is focus. Focus is like a light. When it is strong, it removes darkness and confusion. A focused person can use even a small room effectively. But without focus, even the biggest room feels useless and empty. There is also a special room inside the day called the turning point. This room does not appear at a fixed time. It appears when someone decides to change. In this room, the past does not matter. It does not matter how many rooms were wasted before. What matters is what happens next. Inside the turning point, something powerful happens. The person stops blaming time and starts taking responsibility. They understand that time was never the problem. The problem was how it was used. This realization changes everything. After leaving the turning point, the next rooms feel different. They feel more meaningful. Even small actions start to create big results. The person no longer waits for the perfect moment. They use the current moment. There is also a secret about the day that very few people understand. The day rewards action, not intention. Thinking about doing something does not change anything. Planning too much does not change anything. Only action changes the day. Some rooms are designed for work. Some are for rest. Both are important. But the problem happens when rest takes over work. Rest should refresh, not replace effort. When used correctly, rest makes the next room stronger and more productive. At the end of the day, there is a final room. This room is called reflection. In this room, everything becomes clear. The person can see how they used their time. They can see what was meaningful and what was wasted. This room is honest. It does not hide anything. For some people, the reflection room feels heavy. It is filled with regret. They realize how many rooms were lost to distraction, delay, and excuses. They promise to change, but without action, the next day becomes the same. For others, the reflection room feels peaceful. They may not have used every room perfectly, but they used them with purpose. They made progress. They moved forward. And that is enough. When the day ends, it disappears forever. No one can go back and change it. But something important remains, the habits built inside it. These habits travel to the next day and the next, slowly shaping a person's life. If someone continues to waste their rooms, their future becomes weak and uncertain. But if someone learns to use their rooms wisely, their future becomes strong and full of possibility. The truth is simple but powerful. Time is not the enemy. Distraction is. Delay is. Lack of awareness is. When these are removed, time becomes an ally instead of a problem. Every new day is a new chance. The rooms open again, fresh and full of opportunity. The past does not control them. Only the present does. So the real question is not, do you have time? The real question is, how are you using your time? Because in the end, the day does not decide your life. You do.